हेलो गाइस, वेलकम टू द GSoC Express। तो जल्दी से एक शॉर्ट इंट्रो दे देता हूँ आज के इस वीडियो का। Deepak, the GSoC 2022 contributor from Django organization, has shared his academic journey with us in the form of interview. If you are in hurry, then you can use the chapters mentioned in the description box. But again, जल्दी का काम शैतान का काम होता है. So don't skip the video, else you can miss any advice from an experienced person. मुझे पता है कि आप सब्सक्राइब जरूर करेंगे एंड इफ वीडियो अच्छा लगा तो लाइक बटन को जरूर प्रेस करना वरना डिसलाइक बटन को 2 बार प्रेस करना। तो आइए शुरू करते हैं। First of all, huge round of applause to Deepak. There are many important points which is to be taken care of while thinking for GSOC. These all the points are mentioned here after having a conversation with Deepak. So all credits goes to him. So first of all, if you are looking GSoC as a place of earning money, then you can't crack GSoC. Before thinking to participate in open source, make sure you have basic knowledge of major technologies used by that particular organization. But still, knowing all the technologies doesn't mean that you will easily understand the source code of organization. The school days are gone, where you ask someone to help for something. Read the docs of organization. They must have beautifully mentioned each and every minute details over there. But still, people comment that how to contribute. What is contribution? There are no replies in organization of their messages. The simplest answer is experience and enjoy the process of learning. For example, you have learned Java, you also learned asynchronous function inside the Java, but you have never used it. Here's, here is the point where major people give up. To do practice while learning language help you to adopt a behavior where you are able to debug the errors. Once you use asynchronous function in codes, you will get the idea why the open source have used the asynchronous function in their source code. Then after you can ask short logical question in discussion channels of orgs. I am damn sure that you will get the reply to those questions. Like first, it sounds that I am a IITian or some specific big college student with XYZ knowledge, but still I am handicapped. Please hold my hands and make me learn for how to contribute in this organization. And once you are interested in code and worried for how the things work, the question would be very particular, irrespective of your age, position, or anything else. Now, the question arises is that source code is of 100,000 line or like you can say 10,000 line. And should you understand it completely? The answer is no. Pick any GitHub issues having tags like good first issues or beginner level issues or something like you find logical, which is up to your knowledge. See, see what they are discussing there. They must have mentioned the specific link or position of source code where they find the issue. So understand the issue and read the past chats. There you will definitely find something related to the issue. And then with the help of knowledge of Git and GitHub, you can fork the code, understand the code, make it run, make your changes done, compile it and debug it. And at last but not least, finally push a PR. Contributions are done by a developer, not from a cheater who just copy the methods from YouTube or ChatGPT. So be original. Logic should be from yourself, not any other person. If you want to maintain the motivation for the development journey, you can follow me and Deepak on social media as well. Useful links are always in the description. Must have a look once. Let's hear developer Deepak's views and opinion by his own mouth.
Okay.
So, Deepak, who are you? Please introduce yourself to me.
Hi Aditya. I'm a fourth year student at college in Karnataka. I'm currently working as an intern at a startup called Zelti. I completed my GSoC in the year 22 under the Django organization.
Yes, so it is like a proud moment for you for cracking the GSoC 2022.
Yeah, it was a great moment actually.
Yes. So what is your tech stack? Like which technologies you know till now?
So I mostly work with anything and everything related to containerization, virtualization, microservices, CI/CD, and DevOps and that stuff. I don't particularly restrict myself to particular language or technology.
So you are like mostly towards backend thing, right?
Yeah, I find it hard, extremely hard to write a CSS file and extremely easy to
Oh,
write a Docker file.
like I am just opposite to you. Like I extremely find it easy to write CSS. Anyways, like how you selected your tech stack? Like how was the like what are the like situations of like to decide?
So it's like I didn't set out with a particular goal, like I need to become a DevOps engineer or something. What happened was that I used to visit projects during the GSoC time, go to their websites and see how to set up this project locally. And I used to follow all their instructions and absolutely fail at following them. So I thought like, is there any better solutions? And I found out that some of them offered a containerized solution with Docker or Vagrant and all that stuff. So I thought, wow, this is cool. And then I found out Docker, and it has ever since that moment it has been like that itself. I try to see everything about containerization and all that.
Great. Like actually the my like many of the followers like asking that how we select our career. Like some people like college in first second year Java is taught or some Python is taught. So they are looking future for it. But it's like different. We end up like our college with different things, different goals and all. You
Yeah,
so
everyone just thinks that like choosing a particular domain will help them get a career, but it's exactly the opposite of that. You should not choose a
yes.
domain. You should do whatever you
Experience
can. Like,
everything. Yes, yes.
yeah, when I actually had to do it, I learned React and started writing CSS, which was hell, but I do it.
So like from how much time you are like trying to chase the GSoC? Like before 2022, have you applied or this was the first time and you get selected? Boom.
In 2021, I actually tried to apply to GSoC under the organization. The application period, I think, was starting at March 20th, and I started looking at projects in February 20th. So that did not happen. And after that, I kind of left it and then came back. I think it was November or something. And then I started looking at repositories, started looking at how to contribute to open source. And then in 2022, I got selected.
Like such a long journey. So like how you learned everything? Like from any specific platform or any mentorship or something, videos or like that.
Yeah, what I have found is that videos, courses, training, all that stuff can only help you till you actually see the code base. And after that, you need to Google everything. Like I found myself, jumping into the source code and trying to Google every single line. Like, what is this? What does this function do? What does this function do? What does this function do? So you're like, if I had to say initial steps, watch videos, courses, take training, ask someone else. But after that, read the source code. That's the only way that you can learn how design principles matter, how everything in software matters, how code quality matters. Everything related to software, you only learn through some articles written by some geeks who think who care about how languages interpret something and how these technologies are superior. And you learn through reading code yourself.
Yes, like in college period, we can say that in college, as we are learning so much languages, so after it, we should try to implement those. Like after like looking through
Yeah,
source code, we have to like search and like build ourselves, like build our level to the like level of a contributor. Anyways, like one small question, like like what would be your reaction if ChatGPT was at 2021, like while you are applying for GSoC 2021? And suppose at that time there was ChatGPT.
Yeah, even today, one thing I think is that it doesn't understand anything. Like, given that it understands, all that stuff, it can write code for whatever you ask, but it still does not get one thing, context. And I actually, tried to fine tune GPT-3. Like, it really cannot understand context. If you say that my name is Deepak, and then you just log out of that session and then try to ask it again, what is my name? It does not actually remember anything. So it knows that this line fetches something, or this line makes a HTTP request, but it damn well does not understand what HTTP request is. So I wouldn't be,
Like
too scared of it.
few people have like some myth in their mind that Chat GPT is some awesome AI and they can do like anything with it. So like it's not at that much level. We should like always keep our human intelligence at top. Like anything AI and all that are at second position. So like have you any like coming to the topic, have you any prior contribution to Django like before you have like submitted the proposal?
I made just one PR. Like, since my project was about, benchmarking, there was this repository that handled the benchmarking previously. There I had made just one or two PRs, I guess. Yeah, two PRs, where it was just, some basic stuff. I added one benchmark and I modified one thing.
Like you
But
have
I
the
had not,
yes, continue, please continue.
but I had not made any contribution to core Django itself. And I had written some tests before, but I really did not know how to write benchmarks.
Like it was completely new. You know some little bit, you know 20 or 30%, but rest was like experience.
Yeah,
Okay. So like any specific advice you would like to give to our viewer?
yeah. One thing is, like, the most like what you want the most before, contributing to GSoC or any other open source organization. There are tons of programs these days. The one ability that you need more than anything else is the ability and the skill to read and understand code. That's the one thing you need. Like, as far as documentations go, they only mention the architecture, how the project works, and how it all ties together. But they won't show you stuff like why this method is there, or like, if you see a login page and you don't go to the documentation and get where that login method is implemented. You have to jump into the code yourself, dig through thousands of components, and then find where that login logic is actually being executed. So you have to learn reading code. How
So
you
like
get to
continue.
how you actually approach it and how you actually get to it is different for different people. Like, you could check out the repository to see how a particular thing is being implemented, or you could see issues and then go there, but you have to go there.
So like do you want to show something about your GSoC journey? Like what did you and you like after your selection, what was your task and
So
specific, yes,
after
how the selection was made, like from the proposal time and
so before writing a proposal and before asking what is this project about, I actually made a discussion on the particular project itself, asking, you know, uh, I think these are the goals of the project. What do you think? And correct me if I'm wrong. So the maintainers, the mentors for the project, they replied to me and told me that these are the points which you are mentioning, which are correct. These are the points which are not correct. These are the things that we need in the project. And through their help, I got to write a proposal on which they only provided feedback, saying that these are the sections that you need to cut down, these are the sections that you need to add, these are the changes that you need to make, and all those things. And after that, I got selected. And after that, most of the activity was happening in the GSoC forum itself, where they were like I used to implement a task, do a pull request in GitHub itself, and then they used to reply to me in GitHub as well as
Yes, so means I understand the scenario, then write up and then again discuss like that. Iterate like
yeah.
iterate it.
So there were several steps where a particular approach was uh, taken to see if that was viable, and then the changes were reverted back, and most of the communication used to happen around that. Like there were lengthy communications about a particular thing, and after all that, the project was completed.
How was your experience? Like after GSoC, things are changed or like it is the same as first. Like you some royalties offered to you or like that.
So one thing GSoC help, there are two things that GSoC helped me with. One is obviously the internship that I'm currently doing, and the second thing is money. Like
Yes,
I think
yes.
that's obvious. So yeah, the other thing that changed was that my whole perspective about software development changed. Like I knew that big companies don't write a single Python file and call it a project, but little did I know that I need to know so much to actually write a real world project. So that it was an eye opening experience for me.
It's like first the things are not like that. The college teaches us like write one file and
Yeah.
the project is like completed. Yes, great.